What is going on, you guys? My name is Noah. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been a minute. Side note, does anyone else hang their towels on doors and drive their significant others absolutely bonkers? How are you guys? So this video is going to be about my experience competing in the CrossFit Games quarterfinals. So for those of you that don't know, I am one of those people that just strongly advocates CrossFit as a wonderful way to get fit, to exercise, but also to be social and to work through mental health struggles. I think the modality of getting together with a like-minded group of people in a structure that has leadership, as in there's a coach, there's a program, and you show up with your community, you get through something together, and then you go home. I think it's a really wonderful, powerful, and amazing thing. If you are one of those people who's been wondering what might you do to develop some consistency in your life when it comes to physical activity, I strongly encourage you, if you can, to look into your local CrossFit box and give it a chance. Within the space of CrossFit, every year there is an opportunity for those who wish to compete in something known as the Worldwide Open. It is a once-a-year online competition where every CrossFit gym in the world, they all do the same 3 workouts on 3 given weeks, right? So workouts are released on a Thursday. You have until Monday evening to submit a score if you want. I have a knack for recording. I've also decided when my wife, if it was walking in, hi baby. Where was I? Okay, so in the spirit of competition, I'm one of those people that thinks if you can, you should do things that make you nervous, right? So I've been competing in CrossFit for a long time for the love of the game, but I've never made it into the top 10% of the Open. I finished around 88th, 89th percentile a couple times. The top 10% in the CrossFit Open, they go on to what's known as the quarterfinals, which I've never done. And I've always made peace with that because I put in the time that I put in. I accept the outcome for the work that I do. And I just enjoy CrossFit in general. I love my space in it. I just love it, okay? But after the first couple workouts, I realized that I was in a position to potentially make it to the quarterfinals and have a chance to compete against the top 10% of the world. And I thought that was really nerve-wracking, but like in an excited, sort of giddy, kiddish way. And then I made it. Sweet. I will tell you this though, I got so excited when I realized I might make the quarterfinals that I was like, oh man, what if I tried harder? What if I could be really good? And then I also was like, yeah, I probably don't want to do that. So the first workout I did went as following. On a 15-minute time cap, I had to complete 50 walking lunges with 50-pound dumbbells in my hand, 30 handstand push-ups, kipping of course is allowed, into 40 front rack dumbbell walking lunges with the 50s in my hand, into 20 deficit handstand push-ups, and finishing with the mother of the entire experience for me, double overhead walking lunges with dumbbells into 10 strict handstand push-ups. So I had the opportunity to do this workout, my first quarterfinals workout, with the support of my extended family, with some incredible box members, and it was great. I've competed so many times in CrossFit, multiple individual competitions, many group competitions, and then lots of years competing in the online competitions that I know how to approach workouts. I certainly know how to get myself ready, get myself primed. But one of the interesting things about this experience for me was that I was doing moves that I hadn't either done or essentially practiced at all for a great many months or years potentially. And I felt that, and this workout was fun. It was just really taxing on the shoulders. And then those deficit handstand push-ups, that's one of those moves I don't do, right? Creating a deficit, having to go through a longer range of motion. I felt that for sure. I'm pretty tight in general. I've always sort of been that way since coming from like a bodybuilding, power building sort of background. But I did the best I could, and I just got crushed by the overhead walking lunges. It was incredibly difficult to stabilize those things overhead. I felt my musculature taking on a lot of the weight as opposed to being able to be stacked, much like our leg is stacked into our hip socket, right? So we can balance on our leg fairly easily without a lot of muscle recruitment. Yeah, I can't do that overhead. I was quickly reminded, but my overall experience was, damn, I almost finished, but not quite. But it was good. That was workout number 1. On to workout number 2. This was probably the coolest on paper of all the workouts, I think, because you got to establish 3 max lifts in 30 minutes time. A max clean, a max bench press, and a max overhead squat. I hit 315 on my clean. I was okay with that. I put up 345 in the past, but I haven't been doing any heavy cleans in a very long time, like a very long time. So I was grateful I hit 315. I had a couple misses. It's just one of those lifts that, technically speaking, if you're not sound, you hit a pretty steep cliff as to when you're gonna start hitting and missing your numbers. And I hit 3 wheels, I'm okay with that. We don't bench press a ton in CrossFit, but I do have a history of being fairly strong in that way. We do a lot of training that certainly would translate fine to being able to move a bench press. So I think I hit 305 on my bench. It was one of the longest grinder lifts I've ever had in my life. I mean, I could not even tell for the life of me if a minute and a half had gone by or like 5 seconds had gone by of trying to press out 305, but I got it. Now, unfortunately, on the overhead squat, I tweaked my knee. I have a surgically repaired right knee, not a major injury, but I've had surgery on this knee. It's giving me trouble from time to time, my right knee. And when I was getting through my earlier sets of the overhead squat, when I dipped from that top position to press overhead, I felt a sharp pain in my knee, and I tried to ignore it, but I couldn't even get the bar to go down. So I ended up with a really measly overhead squat relative to my expectation of like 205, I think, maybe 215. And I was hoping to hit 265, 275, something like that. So that was unfortunate. But again, I was trying to be mindful of the fact that I'm here for the experience. I'm here to get out of my comfort zone. I'm here to try something and to just live my life and enjoy it. I think I mostly stayed there. I tried to keep my sense of humor. But I was a little bit worried, right? Because I thought maybe my knee was going to give out on me. I just dropped the $50 to compete in the quarterfinals. I'd only done 2 workouts. I thought that there's a chance that my knee wouldn't let me do the rest of the competition because I was having trouble even squatting after that. Shout out to my crew, so many amazing friends there to support me. Big shout out to my wife Jessie for taking the judges course so that I could compete. Let's move on to workout number 3, which was the workout that I was most curious about as to how I would do because it includes a movement called the GHD, the glute ham developer. This is a piece of machinery that you seldom use in CrossFit if you don't specifically go after it or work out in a competitive gym environment, AKA I never do GHD, right? It's incredibly hard on your midline right here. And having been in CrossFit a while, if there's a movement with high volume where a lot of your muscle contraction is happening when the muscle is long, AKA when you're reaching back with your abs totally stretched out, there's a chance you're gonna kind of mess yourself up a little bit. So I panicked. I did like a couple hundred of them over the course of the previous week trying to get ready. I'd only done them once in a year. I kind of went into this workout a little bit sore, but all in all, what a cool experience. I warmed up my knee. The workout itself was 3 rounds for time of 30 single leg squats, known as pistols, 30 GHD, which is me doing those sit-ups essentially, these really intense high-level sit-ups, and then 10 ring muscle-ups. I'm fairly decent at all these movements except for GHD. And I just chipped away. Again, I had my mom was there and she was there supporting me on all my workouts. She made every single one, which is incredible. My sisters-in-law were there. I had friends rooting me on, and I did the best I possibly could. I was 5 reps away from finishing.
Oh, bummer. So close. Oh, damn. 5 reps away. Oh, I got hard.
But I had a really, really good experience. I mostly was just thrilled my knee was letting me do it. So after another quick break, I come back later in the evening to do workout number 4. This workout was as follows. I don't remember, but I'll put it on screen. I suddenly can't think clearly on what it was, but it included an ascending number of wall balls, shuttle runs, which are 25 feet, and rope climbs. Shuttle running, you're stopping and going a lot. I think that coupled with the wall ball, coupled with the rope climb, it was good programming. I didn't realize it was gonna be so hard. 25-minute time cap to get through all that work. And I remember thinking when I was doing the workout, you're going really slow. Like, I thought that the whole time. I was like, man, you're going really slow. A buddy of mine, Joel, who's one of my best friends, an incredible motivator. He's just very good at amping people up. He's excited, he's passionate. He was side shuffling, basically basketball defensive stance, side shuffling at the same rate that I was able to run, which I remember thinking as it was happening, why? Like, why am I going so slow? But again, I did my best. I thought the rope climbs were my favorite part. They were the easiest for me to continue to be fluid and smooth through. It's one of those party trick movements that's kind of fun to do in front of people. Again, I had people supporting me, so that was good. However, I did think that that workout went slower than I wanted it to, and I wondered if I was reserved a little bit too much as opposed to being really competitive. So something to reflect on for me is giving myself permission to take chances and not be afraid of failure. I think that was one of the lessons I took out of that workout. All in all, it was fun. I was thankful to get it over with, and I was thankful to know that I was really, really close to being done with my CrossFit quarterfinals. Another strange side note, it was very bizarre to me to not have anyone working out alongside me. Typically in CrossFit, you're working out with other people. You're kind of other people's energy. Perhaps if someone's competitively at a similar space as you, they certainly are keeping you accountable, or you're being mindful of them. You can use them as a motivator. So being out there, knowing that I'm competing against a few thousand other people who signed up for the quarters, who qualified, but not knowing how they were doing, where I was relative to the field, that was different, right? That took a little bit of mental space, but not too much. And last but certainly not least, that later that Friday night, I'd done 4 workouts in those 2 days. I was pretty beat, but I had family in town. I didn't want to spend all night thinking about the final workout, so I decided to do the final one later that night, and it was freaking rad. 30 calories on the rower, 20 burpee box jump overs, and 10 snatches, squat or power of 185, which is right on that line of a weight that I can typically pick up, throw over my head, take a couple breaths, and continue. I went out like a bat out of hell on this last one. Like, I went absolutely bananas on the last one. I think I hit my first 30 calories in, I don't know, a minute or less. And I worked through the burpee box jumps in a way that I thought would allow me to have enough energy to pick up the bar. I got through them. I went to that bar. I looked at the time and I was like, oh man, I think I'm doing really well. And I just got spit out. Instantly felt the weight of that, didn't hit a good position, assumed I could just sort of get through it and muscle it, and I got spit out the back. I got up and I was like, oh fuck, like, I'm in trouble. This weight is too much. I went too fast. I made a mistake, but I composed myself to the best of my ability. And as soon as I thought I was able, I gave it another shot, and we chipped away at 10 single power snatches. One of the things I can't do is comfortably squat snatch 185. I can do it, but I need to work on it. So I have to rely on getting that bar a bit higher, catching a bit higher. But I persevered. You know, I actually finished that workout. That felt good. And let me tell you, the mental experience of taking this challenge on, a competitive weekend challenge, putting forth the energy and the time to prep myself, get ready to execute, it was really, really rewarding, and I'm really, really glad I did. And I think it's a testament to where I'm at right now and the road I have traveled to get here, in a space where I'm just living my life and trying new things and doing new things and attempting to the best of my ability to not live in any space of fear, just openness to whatever. So the quarterfinals rolled around. I was open to it. I did my best. I think I finished, let me see here. Of the 7,000 or so people, I finished in 4,000th place. I was 93rd percentile for the open, so it made sense that I would end up being about here for the quarterfinals. There's a lot of really talented people. My best workout wound up being that last one, which is cool. But yeah, that was my quarterfinals experience, and I'm glad to share it with you. Just know that I'm rooting for you forever and always, always rooting for anyone struggling, and always encouraging and applauding and shining love and light on anyone who's doing really well. Just, yeah. Hope you guys are well. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. My name is Noah. Take good care of yourself. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.